Hi, this is Eric Mark from BoardGameGeek. I'm here with Jerry Chiang from Taiwan Board Game Design, looking at Formosa Tea by Soso Studio with Tasty Menstrual, bringing it to the U.S.
That's right.
That was an unexpected surprise, finding that logo on the box in the press room. So, what are we doing in Formosa Tea? Harvesting.
This is a game about tea production. It's a worker placement game, and it's set in the mid-1800s to start off with in Taiwan. With the rise of the tea production at that time. So you represent a tea merchant trying to get the most prestige by bringing the tea to the market and selling and making a good amount of prestige and money there.
Okay. So when we're looking at the board here, is this at the beginning of the game or after a few turns?
This is mid-game, where a few workers have been placed. But typically what you would do first is, first of all, you have two types of workers here. You have a tea farmer with this hat, and then you have a tea master. The tea master can go in any part of the board, but the tea farmer really can only play in the area on this side of the board, so all these spaces on this area.
Okay.
So typically what you would first do is take one of your tea farmers, you could also use a tea master, but go to one of these plantation areas, and then take all of the same color or one of each of the different ones.
Okay.
And so let's say you take the two green ones here. You'd look at the weather tile because tea has different levels, they're exposed to different types of elements. And then based on that water level, you would put it on your player board at the same water level here.
Okay, so you pick from 0, goes in the 0 area on top of what you already have.
That's right.
Okay.
And then you have a storage here of up to 6 cubes here. They're of different types here. So the green ones are green tea, these are black tea, and then these are oolong tea. They'll correspond to the tracks on the right. This is for processing oolong tea, black tea, and green tea. And then at some point in the game, you can use your tea master to go and take up one of these tracks. So let's say I have black tea. I only have 1 cube, but I'll just show you how it works. I could go there to start processing black tea. I move this cube over to the black tea processing area. And these are the steps of tea production. And what I like about the game is they actually correspond to real tea production steps. So it's quite thematic in this way. And what you're trying to do is to reduce the water level throughout. Because the lower the water level, the better quality the tea. The way that your workers advance is you'll need other workers, either your own or someone else's, to go to the harvest patch, and then they'll advance however many farmers are in the same row as where your tea master's at. So here, both players can advance up to 3, or they can go to the very end to process the tea. Here will be ways to reduce the water level, and then once you're here, you can take your worker back as a move, and then move all your teas to production here.
Okay.
So you'll check the water level you're at, and if it's 3 or more, it's considered bad quality tea. If it's 0 and you have 2 of these in the scented cup area, it'll be good quality tea. Otherwise, it will be regular, decent tea, basically.
Okay.
So in this case, it'll be decent tea, and these are ready for sale.
Okay. And so when you go over here to start processing the black tea, you move all the black at the time? So you're trying to specialize in what you're collecting to be more efficient, of course, in what you're doing. Okay.
The other thing is when you collect 3 or more cubes, you'll be able to take a move on the technology track. So there's tracks associated with each type of tea, and as you move along, you'll develop these technology tiles that you can use to put into your player board to process more efficiently and to reduce the water levels in the game, basically.
Okay.
So once you have some tea in your warehouse, the next kind of actions you can do is to go in these areas to sell to the domestic market. You can also go here to make scented tea, which is also more expensive and will get you more points.
Okay.
Or sell to the global market, the international markets here, where the traders will want certain types of tea, and based on the quality, you'll get different number of victory points for the end of the game.
Okay.
So a few other things you can play with, which is the historical events. They come out once every turn, and there's a special effect that comes into place. So this one, for example, if you want, you can sell 1 oolong tea for 2 victory points, and also be able to take a step on the oolong technology track.
Okay.
When you get more advanced, there's also these cards, where there's these historical figures you can play as one of them. And then they'll each have a different special ability. So they'll give you a bonus or some way to do something more efficiently as well.
Okay. And you play a certain number of rounds, or?
Yeah, for 2 players it'll be up to 6 rounds. For 4 players it'll be 4 rounds, 2 players it'll be 5 rounds.
Okay. All right, and you're scoring from all the tea that you've sold, and is that primarily it, or?
Yeah, you'll get points throughout. You'll look at the very end also your domestic market track, wherever you're at. On that, add that to your score. These merchant cards may also be kept as points, because as you get to the very end, each card is worth 2 or 5, 3, 6, or 4 or 7 points.
Okay.
And then there could be some additional bonuses from the historical events.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for an overview of Formosa Tea from Sizzle Studio, also coming from Tasting Retro Games. Thank you, Jerry.